Imagine a world where the word loading is just a relic of the past. A world that feels like it's been engineered for a future you've only ever seen in the movies. Well, today we're diving into what might be one of the most ambitious tech projects in human history. Just think about this for a second. A surgeon, let's say in Beijing, performing a life-saving operation on a patient in some remote mountain village thousands of miles away, with absolutely zero lag. The scalpel moves in perfect sync, the precision is absolute. Distance just doesn't matter anymore. Or picture this, holographic calls so vivid, so real, that your loved ones feel like they're literally standing right there in the room with you, even if they're on the other side of the planet. Communication's so immersive, it just breaks the boundaries of space and time. So you're probably thinking, okay, this is science fiction, but it's not. This is the reality being engineered right now by the world's emerging digital superpower, China. While a lot of the world is still just getting up to speed with 5G, a whole new foundation for the future is already being laid. Okay, let's get into it. To really understand where China's going, you first have to grasp the sheer scale of where it is today. They have methodically, piece by piece, built the world's largest and most advanced information infrastructure. And it's a feat that is frankly unparalleled in history. And we're not just talking about a small incremental improvement here. We're talking about a foundational layer for an entire nation's economy and its society. This 5G network is like a digital blanket covering 1.2 billion users, making high-speed connectivity not some luxury, but the absolute lifeblood of the nation. And here's the number that really puts it all into perspective. 4.8 million. That's how many 5G base stations China has deployed. This number isn't just big, it is a massive statement of intent. Now, what's really wild is when you start comparing that 4.8 million. It's not just more than the United States or more than the European Union, it's several times more than the US and the EU combined. This massive 5G footprint is basically a high-speed national laboratory, the perfect launchpad for the next great revolution. But it's not just about the hardware. China also holds over 42% of the world's 5G standard essential patents. So here's the kicker. They don't just use the technology, they're literally writing the rules for how the rest of the world is going to use it for years to come. But that massive 5G network, that was just phase one. While other nations are still hammering out standards, China has already leapfrogged headfirst into the 6G revolution. And this isn't some vague idea on a whiteboard. It's a meticulously planned multi-year strategy. They spent 4 years just identifying the core technical directions that are going to define the next decade. And now they're already in phase 2, running national trials and building the actual physical prototypes to make it all real. And the results from those trials are, wow, they're staggering. In networks near Beijing, researchers have already hit speeds of 1 terabit per second. Let that sink in. That is 100 times faster than the 5G we have today. We're talking about downloading dozens of high-def movies in the blink of an eye. This incredible leap is what experts are calling the three doublings phenomenon. So compared to 5G, 6G is aiming for a 10-fold increase in speed, a 10-fold drop in latency or delay, and a 10-fold increase in connection density. That's how many devices can connect in a small area. And this just shows that the leap to 6G is about so much more than just raw speed. Okay, this is where the vision gets really transformative. China's 6G goal isn't just about faster internet for your phone. It's about creating a sovereign digital ecosystem, basically a self-contained digital world controlled from within that weaves together communication, sensing, and intelligence. A huge part of this is a technology called ISAC, which stands for Integrated Sensing and Communication. Imagine a network that is no longer just a dumb pipe for data. Instead, it acts like a massive distributed radar system. It could detect motion or even tiny gestures to manage city traffic or secure a building, all without a single camera. The network itself becomes aware of its physical environment. And then there's this thing called semantic communication. It's a completely new AI native approach. So instead of wasting bandwidth sending every single pixel of a video, the network sends only the core meaning or intent. Then a generative AI on the other end reconstructs the full experience. It's just a fundamentally different way to think about data. The benefits here are just enormous. You get a smarter network that adapts and even heals itself. Communication becomes radically more efficient. And get this, it's a total game changer for energy use, potentially cutting consumption by up to 100 times compared to 5G. This isn't just an upgrade. People are calling it the dawn of the intelligent agent era. But China's ambition doesn't stop at the ground. Nope. The ultimate vision is a ubiquitous space, air, ground network, connecting every single part of the planet. The goal, and this is a direct quote from their strategy, is exactly this: a seamless network connecting every corner of the planet, from the deepest ocean to the highest mountain. So while others are still tethered to cell towers, China's looking to the stars to complete its digital domain. And they're not just talking about it, they're already taking concrete steps. They're launching 6G test satellites, and they've already demonstrated satellite-to-ground laser links hitting speeds of 100 gigabits per second. All of this is designed to enable a true low-altitude economy, where swarms of logistics drones and autonomous vehicles operate in this perfectly synchronized, data-driven ballet. So what's the endgame for all of this incredible technology? Well, it's about building the engine for a new kind of economy, what China calls new quality productive forces. This is the critical link, turning all that tech supremacy into real, tangible industrial power and self-reliance. And the numbers show this strategy is already paying off big time. In 2023, China sold nearly 9.5 million new energy vehicles. That's a nearly 38% jump in 1 year, making it the world's largest market for EVs. And at the same time, as this table projects, their production of industrial robots and integrated circuits is just booming with double-digit growth. And of course, this isn't happening by accident. Through its 15th five-year plan, the state is doubling down, pouring massive strategic investments into the industries that are going to define the rest of this century: quantum tech, brain-computer interfaces, and of course, the 6G network that's going to tie it all together. So when you put it all together, the final vision becomes pretty clear. It's about building that sovereign digital ecosystem. It's about creating a technological moat so deep and so wide that very few can hope to cross it. And ultimately, it's about using all this tech to create a more efficient government and a more convenient and inclusive digital society for everyone. The evidence is pretty clear. From the world's largest information infrastructure to the most advanced AI-native 6D trials, China isn't just participating in the future, it's actively defining it. But this leaves us with one last really crucial question. What do you think is the biggest game changer in this entire plan? Is it the mind-bending terabit speeds, or is it that fundamental paradigm shift of an AI-native network? Let us know what you think in the comments below.